You have to ask why, and you must ask any question that you have and not stop asking until you get answers. Long ago, in a land far away from the one we know, where sand and mountains stretched as far as the eye could see, and snake charmers wandered the streets, there lived a little boy named Abdi. Abdi was an orphan who was looked after by an old family friend named Eli, who owned a jewelry shop. Eli was no ordinary jeweler. People came to him from near and far to have their precious gems made into exquisite necklaces, rings, and bracelets. It was said that Eli possessed magical powers, since every person who purchased or was given one of his unique ornaments was blessed with good fortune. Eli was a great teacher and Abdi was an eager student. They were the best of friends. One day, a very important-looking man came into the shop. He wore a fancy turban and a pair of gold slippers, with bells that rang when he walked. Eli smiled at his customer and said, "How can I help you, sir?" "I am Habib. I have been sent by the king to commission a necklace for the queen. Word has reached the palace that you are a jeweler of many talents." With that, he unrolled a large scroll, and on it was a picture of a very grand-looking necklace, made of precious stones. The old man nodded, turned to the boy and said, "We're going to have to work very hard, Abdi." But Abdi knew that it was not possible for the old man to make the necklace in the time he was given. He had watched him carefully over the years, and he was sure that it would take much longer to make something so splendid. He tried to reason with Eli. "We will not be able to do it. It is too much work. You will end up disappointing the king, and he will put us both in prison." The old man held up his hand and said, "This is the job that we have been given. We have no other choice, so we must be certain that we can do it. And remember that everything we have been given in life is always for the best. Do you understand?" Abdi had learned many lessons from Eli already, and he had never steered him wrong, so he knew he must be right. Abdi nodded and replied, "Yes, I understand." Hours later, Abdi arrived at the palace. Many guards stood in front of the gate. One was very tall and carried many large swords. "I am here to see the king." "And why would the king want to see you?" "I have brought a very special necklace for the queen." "They weren't expecting a boy," grumbled the guard. "Follow me." Abdi entered the palace and could not believe his eyes. On a beautifully woven rug in the middle of the room sat a lovely girl playing a lute and singing songs that Abdi had never heard before. He could not take his eyes off of her. Everything Abdi saw made his head turn. Finally, they reached the big door. The guard returned and announced, "The king wishes to see you now." Abdi gulped. He had not thought that he was actually going to meet the king. He was very nervous. The king opened the box, and a snake fell out into his lap. "What sort of trickery is this?" the king shouted, dropping the snake to the floor. Abdi tried to explain. "I do not know what happened, Your Majesty. When I left my village, I was carrying the most beautiful necklace in the world." "Arrest the boy and throw him in the dungeon, and let him keep his precious gift," shouted the king. Abdi could feel fear rising up within him. But he remembered what Eli had taught him. No matter how bad things might seem, he had to believe that it was all for the best. And Abdi held on tight to this advice. And in time, he too became a very fine jeweler. Of that, I am certain.
I'm going to tell you a secret.
This is the job that we have been given. We have no other choice. So we must be certain that we can do it. And remember,
I'm going to tell you a secret.
that everything we have been given in life is always for the best. Of that, I am certain.
You understand?
I'm going to tell you a secret.
Of that, I am certain.